Joining us now is Mr. Michael Manahan. He's the co-founder of something called the Polk Institute. Mike, welcome back to the program.
Well, thanks, Don. It's always a pleasure to be on your show.
Well, for those seeing you for the first time, tell us again what the Polk Institute is all about.
Yeah, sure. A colleague of mine and I started the Polk Institute. It's about a year ago now. It is really an entrepreneurship training institute. We focus on what we call brown and black entrepreneurs, although it is really open to everybody. And the idea is to train over a 1-year period, train these budding entrepreneurs in how to be an entrepreneur. They go through 10 separate courses over the space of a year. Upon graduation, we bump them into an incubator where we hook them up with mentors and experts who can help them actually put their business plan into action. And then the ultimate goal is to be able to present these budding entrepreneurs who've had training in entrepreneurship and now have a business that they've embarked upon, to actually introduce them to potential funding sources to get the capital they need to really grow their businesses.
Well, at the top of the program, I was talking about America being divided. You're really uniting people, aren't you?
Well, I think entrepreneurship does unite people. It's one of the, don't want to get too political on this, but it's one of the things that I think is a sad commentary. I think capitalism and a derivative of capitalism, which is entrepreneurship and in particular small businesses, I think that is something that really made America what it is. It's really allowed people from all over the globe to come to the United States and have something in common, which is starting a business, making some money, and using that business to provide for their families, their relatives, their retirement, and so on. And to the degree that we move away from that, I think we lose out on some of what I consider to be what is fundamentally the United States of America.
Well, I've always said if you work hard, get a good idea, and get a little bit lucky, you can do anything you want in this country.
And it continues to be true to this day. And I know I hear people say, well, you can't, it's not like the old, like the Rockefellers or the Carnegie did. Yeah, you maybe or maybe not, but I still think you can start a business in this country, build up value, and have something that you can pass on to your children. And intergenerational wealth, if you talk about what separates, say, Black and white people in this country, one thing is intergenerational wealth. White people have created businesses, then they pass those businesses, or they sell businesses and they pass on the cash to their children. If you're working for the government, you may have a great job, but when you die, your pension dies. There's nothing to pass on to the kids. So I think one of the ways of fixing the wealth gap is to create more wealth for Black and brown folks who can then pass that wealth along to their children. Then their children have a head start. Instead of starting out with nothing or 25 or 50 grand, children start out with $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. And then they can turn that into 20 or 30 or 50 million during their lifetimes.
You're absolutely right. Of course, it creates jobs as well, because most of the jobs in this country are created by small businesses.
Oh, absolutely. And in particularly when you recover from a recession, almost all of the new jobs are created by small businesses. And what do the big corporations do? Just read the Wall Street Journal. At the stroke of a thumb, the guys get around in the boardroom and gosh, we need our stock to go up a little bit, so let's can 10,000 employees. By the way, with very little rhyme nor reason as to which of those 10,000 employees get canned. But you notice it's never the guys in the boardroom that lose their jobs.
You're absolutely right. Do you have any examples of stars that you've uncovered in your entrepreneurship travels?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Have you encountered any stars in your program?
Yeah, I like to think they're all kind of stars. We've got such a different variety of businesses. We've got people in personal services. One of our cohort members has come up with an electronic device. Remember back in the day, there was something called a mood ring. It would kind of change color based on your mood. Well, this particular device, it really gives you biofeedback on on stress. So it is monitoring your body's stress level. And when it changes color, you know you're going into your stress zone, and you need to change your behavior, because stress is not good for the body, as we know. It causes heart attacks, it causes cancer, it causes a reduction in your immune system. There's a way to kind of monitor stress. It's a very exciting product. And the guy who has developed it, he's a researcher, he's a bit of a scientist, and he's just doing a great job.
How can people get more information, Mike?
Well, the best way is to go to our website. It's Polk, polk-ise.org. Polk-ise.org. The Polk Institute. Just Google the Polk Institute and you'll come up with our website. And by the way, we are not only looking for students, we are actively looking for volunteers, business people who might want to mentor some of these new young companies, potential investors, or somebody who may want to make a financial contribution to our institute. We are a 501c3, a registered nonprofit with the Internal Revenue Service.
Polk Institute, wonderful thing you're doing, Michael. Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, thanks, Don. Pleasure as always.